there already are. It's not a matter of they're going to be. There are many, many New Yorkers who've been displaced and have very few options. And if they'd had insurance, the average individual assistance payout is something like $7,000 to $11,000, and insurance is up to $250,000 if your home is completely destroyed. So it's a real difference in terms of rebuilding and repair, and therefore, particularly where it's an affordable option, you should invest in flood insurance.
Thanks. I'm Jill Cornell. I'm with the Brooklyn Long-Term Recovery Group. Very excited that I got the first question, and thank you to the panel for speaking so eloquently and passionately on a subject that 2 years ago I thought I would never halfway be as interested in as I am now, post-Sandy, okay? You did a marvelous job, and with all the stats that we're going across that, let's face it, were fairly depressing, somehow from a lot of what you said, I have a shred of hope, and I so appreciate that. I do want to follow up and kind of support what Susanna's been doing with AJR, and this is sort of really related to Ms. Gray, because the fact that, I hear the work that you've been doing speaks very clearly through your presentation, what you said, and I want to address how this information gets into the communities, because Susanna's been working on 2 separate projects that aren't funded, really, by that much money, that have done amazing work with regards to climate change. And that's the Alliance with the Just Rebuilding, and the other one is the People's Climate March. And I heard you say specifically that you're hiring and you're going through the procurement process. Cool, okay? But how are we going to get this into our communities? As I said, Brooklyn Long-Term Recovery Group, I didn't really realize that so many people outside of, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island, I know we got Long Island here, so I'll throw them into the mix. Outside of our boroughs and our affected communities, we're so concerned. So I take a lot of heart from that. But using a community-based approach, paying decent wages to community members who need jobs, to get them to take ownership of these important, essential, life-preserving, retirement-preserving issues for our Sandy-impacted communities will make this campaign a success. What do you think, Susanna?
Actually, sorry, thank you. I wanted to take one more question, and whoever has a question for either Yatim or Jesse, will either of you?
Actually, I wanted to mention the first question she asked off of Twitter was, how do we reach out to the vulnerable population and the seniors? One of the things I would, by the way, my name is Michael Rabb. I'm the Storm Recovery Liaison for Nassau County. I also somehow or other have become the unofficial assistant also for Suffolk County. And I do want to, again, congratulate everybody. Again, this is a room of brilliance, and you don't know the value of what the good work you're doing here, and how this could spread not only here in New York, but Long Island, across the country as a model. So on behalf of those victims, of which I am one, I lost my home in Freeport, Long Island, and I'm not even back in my home yet. I do want you to know that this storm has not ended. There are families today that are in just as much emotional pain as they were the day after the storm. And understanding that each and every one of you is doing God's job in helping us get back into our homes. So on behalf of all of those people, I want to, again, reinvigorate you, re-energize you, make you feel loved in times when people are really being hard on you. It's not an easy job for any one of us, and I want to compliment you. However, I do want to mention one thing. I have found that YouTube trainings are very good. If you could do a little YouTube tutorial specifically on your website for the flood elevation, that might help. I am the one and only person in Nassau County, Suffolk, that has the email list of every single registered survivor. That's another way you can get an articulation with FEMA to get that email list. Most importantly, I tried this last month and it worked very well. I actually filmed a 1-hour television show where we went through all the different issues of the Long Island's New York Rising program, and that in itself, going through cable, spread like wildfire, and it was also online. So there are ways to reach out to people like us. But also remember, we're working 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs. We've got family living in our basements and our attics that we're taking in that lost their homes. Life is not easy for all of us. So it really is a combination of every kind of communication device you could ever imagine. But the most important one, believe it or not, is friends, neighbors, and relatives reaching out to people. And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for the work you're doing.
Thank you so much. And also, yeah, to the woman from the Brooklyn Long-Term Recovery as well. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did want to just put a few more together, and then I will let the panel very quickly have one more reaction if you so desire, and then release us all to the reception outside. So.
It obviously brings me anxiety, so I'm thinking of survivors who have anxiety. So partnering with like disaster case managers to put their information on the site, or mental health organizations on the site, so that they have resources when they're on the site, but also if they're struggling emotionally. So,
Thank you, that's a fantastic idea, and we do have a resources section that Matt did not present that has that information. Thanks everyone. I'm so sorry, and for the last person who was waiting. I just wanted to let some of the panelists who haven't spoken much give them any last thoughts. So.
I'll see you Sunday at the Climate March.
Anything else?
Yeah, I guess I would just say in terms of how you get it out into the community. I think groups that have been working in different communities for a long time know how to talk to folks. So I was talking to somebody who works at the Shorefront Y in Brighton Beach recently, and he was talking Brighton Beach has a lot of different communities and neighborhoods, or sub-neighborhoods, I would say.